With Postcard Mania's Salesforce integration, you can automatically send a customizable happy birthday postcard to your contacts on their birthday. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. This feature is relatively advanced, so if you're still learning how to use our app, I'd recommend going to our YouTube page and looking at all the videos we have that'll teach you how to do the basics from creating designs to sending postcards with variable data and much more. So for starters with this setup, because you're going to be sending birthday cards, I need you to go to My Designs, where you should have already configured a birthday card template from our templates and linked it to your contacts page. As you can see, mine is called B-Day and it's linked on the right to Contact. So you'll want to note the name of your design layout because you'll need that later on for setting up the automation. The next step is going to be to create a new field for our contact records. To do that, you're going to want to scroll up to the right and click on the gear icon and then hit Setup. On the left-hand side, you're going to click on Object Manager. You'll then scroll down and find Contact and click on it. From here, you're going to click on Fields and Relationships because we're going to add a new field. And then on the right, you're going to click on New. This will bring up a list of the different types of fields you can choose from. And because we're going to make a custom calculation that checks if someone's birthday is coming in 7 days, so I'm going to click on Formula and click Next. So now we have to name it, and I'm going to call it Birthday Soon. That'll be what pops up on your contacts page. So on this page, we get to choose what the output of this field is going to be. And since we want to figure out if it is the contact's birthday, we need a true or false variable. And for that, we will use the checkbox, what is called a Boolean variable. Once you select that, you'll hit Next in the top right. And on this page, we're actually going to put the code in for the formula. It is a bit complex, so what I'm going to do here is paste it in, and then I will provide it to you in the description for you to paste in as well. The one thing you'll need to know is that here at the bottom right, this number, I have it set at 7. This is the number of days before the birthday that the postcard is going to send out. So you could change it to 5 days or 3 days or 14 days if you want a greater headway. But I'm going to leave it at 7 for now to give a week of headway. And then I'm going to check the syntax. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can hit Next. Which brings us to some field level security, which if you know what these are, you can play around with them. But for our purposes, I'm just going to click Next again. Which brings us to the layout page where you're going to want to make sure that this field applies to all of your contact layouts and then click Save. All right, and that means our new field is created, and you can see it right there. It's called Birthday Soon, and it is a formula checkbox. So to look at this field and see how it works, we're going to go back to the Postcard Mania app, click on the gear dropdown, click on Select Fields to Display, and then on the left-hand side, you will scroll down to Contact Birthday Soon. Click on that top arrow to move it over to Visible Fields. You'll see it there, and then you click Save. And this actually brings it right here to your contact records page, so you can see here's the field and the checkboxes for the records that comply with the field conditions. And so the next step of this is going to be to scroll to the top right and click on the gears icon once again. We're going to set up the flow automation. Click on Setup. From here, you'll go to the quick find on the left and type in flows. Click on Flows. Then we're going to scroll to the right and click on New Flow. This flow is going to be called a scheduled triggered flow because it's going to check every day if there is a birthday to send a postcard to. So you'll click on scheduled triggered flow and click create. Once it loads, the first step is going to be to set the date and time for it to run. So I'm going to click today, and then I'll set the time. Next, I'm going to change the frequency, which I will make daily so it checks for birthdays every day. Now that we've done that, we're going to get into the main actions of this flow. So to do that, you have to choose an object that it's going to pull from. In this case, I want it to choose all contacts. So I'm going to type in contact here. And because I want it to pull all contacts, I'm going to click on this condition requirements and select none, run flow for all contacts. And to recap here, we've now set up this automation to run every day to pull all of our contact records. And so the next step we have to do is add an element that sorts through the contact records and only selects the ones with birthdays in a week. To do this, we're going to click on the little plus icon here in our flow builder. We're going to scroll down and click on Get Records because we're going to get all the records that have birthdays today. So first we'll name it. We can call it Get Birthday Records. And then we'll want to search objects. Again, we're going to select contacts. And now we're going to add a condition because we don't want all the contacts. We want only the contacts whose birthdays are today. This is where that field we created will come in handy. So what you're going to do is scroll down to the field section of this condition, search for birthday soon, equals, global constant true. And this is going to provide us with our list of birthday records. So next you'll scroll down. You're going to want to make sure to store all records, which is the last thing we need to do to set up this element. Which leads us to the second element of this flow, which is going to be an action. So you're going to go back under Get Birthday Records, click Add Element, click Action. In Search All Actions, you're going to type Send Postcard. And this is the action that is actually going to set up our postcard send. We can call this Send Birthday Postcards. Once you've named it, you're going to have to make sure to say that we're pulling from contacts once again. Then you'll scroll down and you're going to input a few fields. One is the layout name. So this is where that design layout from the very beginning is going to come in handy. You remember mine was called B-Day. And then at the bottom under Salesforce Records, you're going to click on it and click Contacts from Get Birthday Records. What this does is pass the list of birthday contacts to this send postcard action, which then it can use to send the postcard to them. And so once you have the layout and your records inputted into this action, you can click Done. And now that it's done, we're going to have to save it. So go to the top right and click on Save. We'll name the flow. I'm going to call mine Send Birthday Postcards. Then I'm going to hit Save. And once it's saved, the next step is to test it. And to do that, we're going to click on Debug at the top. I'm going to leave both of these unchecked because I want it to actually place the order for these birthday postcards. I'll hit Run. Then you'll see on the right, it was completed. Here, it's pulled the records. This was successful. And then it's pulled these three contacts. Those are their record IDs, and the output is also a success. So this worked, and it sent postcards with the B-Day layout to these three contacts whose birthdays are in 7 days. And so the last thing to do to finish setting this up is going to be to hit Activate on the top, which will set this flow in motion. So now every day, my Salesforce account will send birthday postcards to my contacts. But before we go, I want to actually show you these orders. So we're going to exit the flow builder. From here, I'm going to go to my contacts in my Postcard Mania app, click on PCM orders. And then we should see right at the top a pending order from a flow with 3 recipients, and we do. And it's sent to the birthday layout, so that's our one. I'm going to click on it. So we can scroll down and see our 3 recipients. And yeah, so that's a successful order, which means that the setup for this flow automation is complete. And now every single day, my Salesforce system is going to check to see if any of my contacts have a birthday next week. And if they do, it's going to send them a birthday postcard, which completes this video. So if you have any further questions, you can always look at other videos on our YouTube channel or go to our website at pcmintegrations.com.